Alright, so next day, I just got done uploading the video of pulling the motor out and stuff, like an hour or so ago. Yeah, a lot of those, that video kind of jumped around a lot. A lot of the clips were iPhone, like vertical videos, and like I said, it jumped around a lot, so I apologize for that one, but yeah, we'll try and remember to, when we're filming with the phone, to always hold it sideways. And also the ones with the phone are like pretty shaky. Everything was pretty shaky. I didn't have the camera on the tripod, and I really didn't realize how big of a difference it makes as far as stability. So yeah, whoops. But yeah, so basically back in here and gonna try and get some more stuff done. After thinking about the whole wiring thing and like seeing how it is, basically like the engine harness goes straight through the dash right to the ECU. It's probably like that on all cars. I've just never really messed with wiring like this far before. So I'll probably just wait, and when I get the new car, deal with like shortening that harness and cleaning that one up. But the harness that I probably can clean up and reuse is the harness with the boxes, the fuse panels or the relay boxes or whatever. Those I still want to figure out and get all that cleaned up, because I'm pretty sure I can just reuse, like slap all that onto the new car once I get it the way I want it. At least hopefully. I don't want to spend like a whole ton of time doing it. Basically do it kind of half-ass and just like roughly like tape everything in place, and then once I know that that'll work, I'll go back and solder everything and zip tie it and clean everything up and make it look real nice. But I'm gonna do that later. First, the few things I want to do now are I want to pull the transmission off because it's been leaking transmission fluid onto my wood floors, and these things are beat up enough as it is. I don't want that shit like saturating in there and making like a weak spot or something. So I want to get that thing off. So I'm gonna jack it up and drain the fluid out. I don't know where exactly the drain portion is. I'll probably have to go look that up if I can't see an obvious spot to drain the transmission from. But so I'll drain that, pull the transmission off the block, and then probably do some work on this. Like I said, mainly I just want to get the coolant lines and the oil lines that I fed on here, I want to get those ran nicer. So yeah, I'm gonna start doing that now, I guess. The transmission fluid looks a little bit dark. What do you guys think? A little dark. A little dark. That's kind of funny. So yeah, I'm gonna let that drain for a minute or so, and then take the transmission off. Hopefully I don't crush my fingers pulling that thing off. I don't know how heavy it's gonna be. Okay, I got most of what I gotta get off for the transmission. 2 bolts on the top holding it in, and then it's still bolted to the flywheel on the torque converter, and that's what I'm working on now. I got like the dust cover off. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but yeah, I got the dust cover off. There's the flywheel in there, and I gotta get those off one at a time, and then I'm just using a breaker bar to crank over the motor. And then once I pop those off, I can lower the motor back down, take out those last 2 bolts for the trans, and slide it off. Alright, so I think I'm ready to pull the transmission off the block, but we'll see. I don't think I missed anything, but we'll find out in a second here. So I should be good to go now. Let's see. Let's see. Maybe I gotta kick it a little bit. I'll hit it with a hammer. she goes. Oh no, did I miss a freaking bolt? I didn't miss a bolt. Let's see. Where's a good spot to grab from? There we go. Oh no! I'm a dummy. I'm a super dummy. I left a bolt in that's holding the whatever plate thing in the digger up on there. Oh. Okay. There's the transmission. Yeah, this thing, which I'm pretty sure that thing's the same for the automatic and the manual, so I can just go ahead and leave that right on there. But I don't know, the motor's off. Or the transmission rather. Well, this thing's like really unstable now though. So I'm gonna have to find a better method of propping it up. Just wants to turn. That's why we got wood blocks. Alright, so that's not the best way of having it propped up, but that's gonna work for now. So, yeah, that's that. I can work on cleaning some stuff up on this motor. Like I mentioned, I wanted to redo just some of the coolant lines and stuff that I did for the turbo, and the oil lines and stuff. And then I'm basically, oh yeah, then I said I could do the wiring too. So I'll mess with that, and then I'm basically at a standstill so I can pick up a car. So yeah, I don't know, I guess when I get back to you, I'll probably just be showing you how I redid the lines and clean those up a little bit. I might only do the oil line. I think I might leave the coolant lines. Those aren't too bad, but we'll see. Alright, so yeah, I don't know, I got a little bit more work done on the car. Got Joey's here now. I got a few cool clips of his Audi rolling on the highway, so I'll throw those in there. But yeah, just basically show you guys what else I've done so far. I went through and I pulled the dash back out and pulled out all the wiring for the AEM gauge and my boost gauge and that sort of shit. And next is I gotta pull these license plates back up that are covering the fuel and the brake lines and see if I can't salvage the brake lines and the fuel lines that I put in, because I really don't want to have to order $60 worth of lines again. I want to be able to just reuse all those ones. And yeah, and then another thing that I did is, pretty pumped about this, I sat here and rebent some lines for this. Basically what I'm gonna do on the new car is I'm gonna take it, and how I have them coming out up here where the AC lines would go in, since the motor will be out, I'm gonna re-drill holes down here and have the brake and fuel lines come right out here, come right over, and then I'm gonna rotate this since these are kind of opposite and have the line just come straight in, and then these ones come straight out. And I made a couple brake lines so that I can reroute my brake lines, something like that, instead of going up over the top. That's gonna be that one, and then I got this one for right there. So they'll be just a little more hidden. They won't be up top where everybody can see them. I just gotta get a little more brake line for the line that's gonna have to go for the passenger side. Also, besides that, I figured out that my little loop over here for the power steering, I'm just gonna cut here and have a hose just go straight up to the power steering reservoir I made and clean that up a little bit.
Dude, that's gonna make shit look so official. I hope I can find like 1,000 of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then I got these springs that I'm gonna use to cover the brake lines. I don't know if it's gonna focus or not, but I don't know. I got springs to cover the brake lines, and it makes them just look really clean. So I'm gonna do that with all the visible lines under the bay, just to make that look nice. And I think that's gonna be about it for today. Probably tomorrow I'll come out and pull up the license plates and see if I can't rip out the brake lines. And then once I do that, I can pull the car out, spin it around, and drop the gas tank and pull the fuel lines out. So that'll probably be in tomorrow's video. But yeah, the usual. Make sure you guys subscribe if this is your first video seeing by myself, and like the video because that's going to help me out in the future. And I will see you guys in the next one.